Every superhero has three things that make them stand out. The first thing is their superpower, obviously. The second thing is their villain or arch nemesis. And the third thing, which is what I'm talking about today, is the origin story. So let's take Spider-Man, for example. Spider-Man is one of Marvel's biggest superheroes. And his superpowers are very simple. He can crawl on walls, he has super strength, he can heal, he can, okay, that one, for some Spider-Man, he can shoot well from his body. Others, it requires the technology to do it. But he can do stuff that normal human beings like us can't do. The second thing is his arch nemesis. So he has people like Dr. Octopus, you have Venom in some comics. He has a lot of people that stand against him because a hero is only as strong as the opposition he faces. Then thirdly is the origin story. Now Spider-Man, or Peter Parker, which is his real name, is an orphan, born or raised in Queens by his uncle, Uncle Ben, and aunt. For those of us that are not superhero fans, sorry, just follow. So by Uncle Ben and Aunt May, all right, so he was raised in Queens on the streets. So when he got bitten by that radioactive spider, he just became a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Now, you may feel like the most important thing that happened to Spider-Man was being bitten by that spider. You are correct, but picture if Tony Stark, again, if you don't know comic books, just follow. Tony Stark, which is Iron Man, was the one bitten by that Spider-Man. He would not have become a neighborhood Spider-Man because he's a billionaire, son of a billionaire. So there's no way he will be on the streets fighting thugs or policemen or random thieves in the neighborhood. Now, those are comic books. Let's come to real life. There's a lady in Pakistan called Malala Yousafzai. I hope I got the pronunciation. So she's a Nobel Peace winner, the youngest ever. She won it at 17. That is how we know her as the hero. But she's not that hero today because she just won that Nobel Prize. It was because of what happened to her growing up. So when she was a kid, she was raised by a family that loved education. Her dad was a teacher. But the Taliban took over her town and they stopped girls from going to school. So, but obviously they were still finding a way to go to school. And then she started blogging, talking about the life living under Taliban rule. So one day on her way to school or their way back, their bus was stopped by the Taliban and they shot her in the head. Fortunately for her, she didn't die. They took her to the UK, treated her, and she became an advocate for education. Today, she's one of the most famous young ladies from the Middle East because of the experience that she had. Let's come to Nigeria. Professor Dora Akunyili, who is late now, there was a time in Nigeria where she was one of the most famous people. And why? Because she was the head of NAFDAC. NAFDAC is the agency in charge of drugs, food, and everything like that, the regulator. So she was in charge of NAFDAC, and she was a warrior. She fought against fake drugs in Nigeria a lot. And even though she was one of our biggest heroes, that was not where it started from. Where it started up from for her was she lost a sister to a fake drug when she was young, and that became like a mission for her. Now, all origin stories are not negative, all right? So let's talk about Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is one of the world's, or was one of the world's biggest visionaries and leaders. He founded Apple. Most of us use iPhones now. But there was something that happened to him when he was in school. He was a college dropout, famously a college dropout. But while he was in college, he stumbled into a class of calligraphy. Calligraphy is the heart of writing, I think. So he stumbled into a class of calligraphy, and he discovered and saw the different styles of writing. He introduced the ability for users to be able to pick different fonts. So if he had not done that, maybe all of us would still be writing in Times New Roman. So, but he introduced different types of fonts so that you could pick options and all of that. Now, all these people, and there are several options, almost every leader that you go to search or you go to read about, including the speakers that have spoken ahead of me, you will see that they are who they are because of the things they experienced. All right, so I'm no superhero, obviously. Somebody should have Steve there. I'm getting out of here with my wife. So I'm not trying to save anybody's life, so I'm no superhero. And I don't consider myself to be on the level of Steve Jobs, of Malala, or all of them. But I'm here on this stage today because of the experiences I had in my past. So I grew up in a house where we did not have a TV, not because we were too poor to have it, but we didn't have it, let's just leave it like that. And apart from that, so I didn't have a choice. I had to find my entertainment from reading storybooks. Fortunately for me, I attended a primary school, valued storybooks. We had a big library, and we had a lot of storybooks. And every week, they allowed us to borrow one to take it home to read. So I grew up reading a lot of storybooks. So I always credit that as the foundation for my storytelling. I don't know if I would be writing stories today if I didn't have that foundation. Now, for a long time, I always look back and I think maybe I should have studied like English or literature or something in line with what I love to do. But something happened after I graduated. There was a day I was in my house, my parents called me and said that, go take your CV, go to this person's house, there is a job for you. So I went there, took my CV there, they said, oh, all right, our friend's son, of course, obviously. So they were like, just checked out, they saw my results, like, it's only these results that is a problem, not because of these results. Now, what was the job? They were going to employ me to join SSS. So if I had gotten a better result, I'll be, I don't know what they do really, but I'll be a police officer, SSS somewhere in the world right now. I don't know if I would have found myself the way I am now. I don't know if I'll be standing here. I don't know if I'll be married to the wife I'm married to. I don't know what would have happened if I had gone in that line. So as much as I would not encourage anybody to fail in school, the fact that those things happened to me brought me to where I am. Now, maybe you have listened to me now, you're thinking, oh yeah, true, everything that happens is for a reason. So what exactly happens when you decide to take your origin story and see it for what it is? First of all, okay, let me just jump to this. When you take that origin story, the way to get the best out of it, first of all, you need to audit your experiences. So everything that happens to you happens for a reason. Don't just, something happens and then you just walk away. No, look at those experiences and take out what you learn from them. Secondly, document your experiences. Your experiences can go away from you if you don't take note of them and document them. And thirdly, which is the last thing I will say, is share your experiences. Your experiences are good and worth something to you, but it can be worth a lot more to the people around you if you learn to share them. Social media is great for that, and I don't mean tell us what you heard this morning. I don't know how anybody will benefit from that. I'm talking about the experiences you had, things that happened to you that you learned, oppositions you faced, the way you won, some of the things that have been shared with us on this platform. Those are experiences that people had and the way that it transformed them. And by sharing those things, you can also transform other people. So I'll close by saying this. Your experience is, you will not succeed in spite of your experiences. You succeed because of your experiences. Those experiences are exactly what is making you who you are. That is why you are different from me, and we are different from AI. Because AI can never have the experiences we've had, and it cannot become the person we are. So your experiences are defining who you are. Don't hide them, don't keep them, embrace them, and they will take you to where you need to be. Thank you.